Welcome back. Now, National Assembly Speaker Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula has survived her first motion of no confidence. The motion, which was brought by the economic freedom fighters following their eviction from Parliament in last month's State of the Nation address, but only 42 MPs voted in favour of the motion, while 234 MPs voted against it. Let's get some analysis now from political analyst Professor Andre Duvenhage. Thank you very much, Prof, for your time here on eNCA. Not surprising, the ANC using its numbers again, obviously, in Parliament yesterday.
Good afternoon, Marcelo. Yes, indeed, it didn't come as a surprise. Now, maybe we must first look at the role of a speaker. A speaker is appointed through the National Assembly by the parties in the National Assembly. So normally she's coming from the majority party. And we know that the ANC has a majority and that they will definitely not vote against their speaker. And we have seen that with the 234 votes that was going against the motion of no confidence. But now again, we need to look at the role of the speaker. The role of the speaker is supposed to be independent, not biased, and she must allow conversation, debate, and decision-making within the National Assembly. And the parties, at least some of the parties, are feeling that she's not playing an independent role. She's obstructing democracy in some ways. Now, the counter-argument is that parties like the EFF are misusing process and protocol to disrupt meetings in this regard. So it didn't come as a surprise. There may be some critique against the speaker, but generally speaking, I think it was expected.
All right, but let's talk about that particular day. You know, at some point, the Deputy President of the EFF, Floyd Shivambu, describing the EFF's behavior as people who were not looking to fight. But, you know, some other people have described their behavior as storming the stage. What did you think? Did you think that the speaker used excessive force, or did she have no choice because they were going for the head of state?
Well, I have seen a lot of instability. They definitely, and now I'm talking about the EFF, they misused their situation. They didn't follow proper process and protocol, and they engage, as we can see at the moment, in a lot of fighting and struggling. So definitely, they are out of order in that context. But again, we need to look at the bigger role of the speaker. And the bigger role is to create an environment that is stable, that can promote decision-making, and she cannot be biased. And the problem is that in some cases, she didn't act strong enough, probably also against ANC. And now I'm not referring to that specific day, I'm referring to her role as speaker in general. And we have also seen the critique coming from the main opposition party, the Democratic Alliance, abstaining from this whole debate. They say they have critique against the speaker, but then again, they cannot align themselves with the EFF. They rather put themselves outside the situation, but they aren't saying that the speaker is doing a fine job.
And just lastly, the last time we saw a motion of no confidence being tabled against the speaker in Parliament was back in 2014 during Balegambete's tenure. Does it say anything that in between then and now we haven't had a motion against the speaker? Thandi Modise happened to have survived this, or are we being too lenient on Thandi Modise because she actually served during a time when there was also COVID-19 and Parliament wasn't really sitting for about 2 years?
I think we are talking about two different personalities and two different styles, but we are also talking about the EFF that has become a very strong party since, and they are exercising their power in many ways. And at the moment, the ANC is a lot more vulnerable than was the case back in 2014. So I think it is two different scenarios. But clearly, the EFF is not going to follow process and protocol. And at the moment, and we have seen that with the national shutdown, we are going to see more and more security, Praetorian guards appearing at different fronts in order to stabilize the environment. So I'm expecting a lot more incidents related to instability in the build-up to the 2024 election, not only inside Parliament, but also outside of Parliament.
Prof, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Political analyst Professor Andre Duvenhage speaking to us there.